All right, so I know the thumbnail talked about solid case packs, but I want to start by talking about toy hunting. This is Scott Toy Guru Neitich, and if you're new to the Spector Creative channel, you know that we talk about toys and toy culture, and part of the culture of toy collecting is toy hunting, when we head out to retail and hope that we can find the latest prize, the latest acquisition. And usually this involves scouring the town and knowing where all of the toy stores, the Targets, the Walmarts are. It might be that you're driving during the day. It might be that you're driving on your way home from work. But you usually have a sort of preset plan. A lot of people who are toy collectors, myself included, well, when we know we're going to a certain destination, we're going to hit the Targets and the Walmarts and the McKay's bookstores between us and that location. And a lot of toy hunters will hit multiple of the same retailer, such as Target, going to Target after Target after Target, because that tends to be the way to find that hidden gem that you've been looking for to complete your collection. So, another part of toy hunting is the fact that we tend to know our aisles, meaning the stores that we hit on a daily, weekly, hourly basis, whatever it is, pick your poison, well, we become very familiar with it. So you kind of know it like it tends to be your stomping grounds, right? You know, the place you hang out. And it's easy to know when something is different, something is odd. If you see a strange sign, well, it stands out because you know the aisles so well. Case in point, something like this. So, when you're so familiar with the aisles and, well, you start to see something that doesn't quite make sense, or at least I did. And that was the fact that I was seeing a lot of the same figure from recent Marvel Legends waves. Now, of course, this is a thing that's not completely uncommon. In fact, in quite a few videos I've done, I've used this image of Storm backing up at a Target end cap. But this is a little different. This particular Storm figure, the reason it backed up is it was a re-release of a figure that was already out that was hard to find and was released then as a Target exclusive. And I was using this, or I used this image to explain or justify why manufacturers don't re-release figures, because they tend to back up because a certain amount of population already has it. Well, what we're seeing now, or at least what I'm seeing, especially at Target, is a lot of the same figure, but not the rest of the wave. And while you might say, oh, well, that's because the rest of the wave already sold, this image kind of counters that because we're looking at what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like almost 10 rogues. Well, if rogue, I think, is 1 per case, where's the rest of the figures? I mean, that means that they had 10 case packs of the assortment and everyone was bought but rogue. That doesn't quite jive. You know, it doesn't pass the sniff test, if you will. So Marvel Legends are obviously something that's sold as an assortment, meaning you're getting multiple figures in what's called a master carton. Sometimes you get multiples of 1 figure, such as, or 2 figures, is the case of the 2 Spider-Man there, and sometimes you just get 1 of each figure. It depends on the wave, and it depends on how the assortment is created. But the point is, when you open a master carton, that's the brown box that ships to retailers, you get lots of things to choose from. It's not just 1 figure, but you've got a variety on your plate, metaphorically. And you can pick and choose, as the customer, who you want. Obviously, the main characters usually sell better, like Spider-Man, which is why he's usually doubled up in a case. Now, case packs of 1 item, which are called solids in the industry, a solid case pack, does happen, but it's usually things like play sets, where a play set will ship also to MasterCard and there'll be 2 units, as opposed to an assortment where you would have 2 different play sets. So there are rare examples of action figures shipping in solid case packs. One sort of classic one was during Revenge of the Sith, when the 3rd prequel movie came out. Toys were hot again. Star Wars toys for Revenge of the Sith sold extremely well. And it was a huge reason. Well, a huge reason for this was Darth Vader was back on the big screen. This was the first time we had seen Darth Vader on the screen since Return of the Jedi in 1983. And this was way before Disney bought the property, and we're now looking at unlimited Star Wars content. As far as we knew, this was it. So the Darth Vader action figure that shipped as part of the Episode 3 assortment with lightsaber attack action was hugely in demand. Kids, collectors, the casual fan who may not have even realized that Darth Vader was available in toy form going back to 95. Well, everybody wanted Darth Vader, and that's a big reason Hasbro pumped out things like this, because Darth Vader was hot. No pun intended, lava reflection Darth Vader. Well, I guess if you want to get really hot, you get into, super crispy Anakin Darth Vader, which is still one of my favorite action figures, the fact that they made this. But that's not important right now. The point is, Darth Vader was so big that solid case packs were being sold of just Darth Vader, no other characters. And no one actually noticed this, well, at least, consumers and collectors, because the figures were selling so quickly that a case pack of, I think, 12 or 16 Darth Vaders would get put out, but then they'd sell out within a few hours or a day. So it wasn't like you were just seeing all these Darth Vaders on peg, like that image of Rogue from the Age of Apocalypse Marvel Legends wave that we looked at. Another example of solid case packs is, when it actually works for action figures, it was DCU Classics, the line that I ran at Mattel. So when I met with online toy stores during Mattel's Toy Fair, which occurs in October-ish, one of the pieces of feedback that we received, and by online toy stores I mean like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, those kind of stores, was that they wanted to be able to sell individual figures. They didn't want to just get the assortment. The reason for this is that, well, one, they wanted to be able to pick and choose and not necessarily have all of the figures. But two, a lot of their customers wanted to be able to purchase just a figure. They didn't want to purchase a case pack, especially if a case pack had double of a figure. And then, you wind up with extra figures. And of course, the A-list characters like Batman and Superman and Commandy, they wanted to be able to order those in bulk so that they could have a lot of Batman on hand because, Batman sells so well because he's Batman. A quick look at Entertainment Earth's website, typing in Marvel Legends, because DCU Classics is defunct, it's clear that they sell figures as assortments where you can buy the case pack and get all of the figures, including the doubles, but they also sell figures individually. And they're able to do this because the figures are made available as solid case packs. When I went to do this at Mattel, when I was working on DCU Classics, I can tell you it was kind of like pulling teeth getting this system in place because Mattel was used to just selling the assortments of action figures. The idea that they were going to sell an assortment and make the same figure available in solids, or what's also called open stock, well, it took coordinating effort between a lot of departments: sales, manufacturing, marketing. And yeah, at the time when we were trying to set this up, it was a little crazy because, again, action figures don't really ship in open stock or solid cases, except in the rare occasion. But of course, when we were able to pull this off, it was a huge rise in sales because the online retailers were able to do a lot more business selling figures open stock. All right, so that's some of the rationale, some of the reasons for doing an open stock figure, doing a solid case pack. So let's get back to what's happening at retail. Big fan of Fantastic Four myself. Issue 348, which of course didn't feature the Fantastic Four, it featured the new Fantastic Four, was the first issue that I ever read. And eventually, obviously, I discovered who the real Fantastic Four were. And, they were in that storyline. They were captured, and then the new Fantastic Four released them. That's not important right now. The point is, I'm a big fan, and I've bought both the Walgreens wave and the new Retro wave. And has anyone noticed that if you swap Susan's heads and you swap the Human Torches, it actually works better as far as like a retro look and a 90s look, or a 60s look and a 90s look? I kind of wonder if that's intentional on Hasbro's part, that they wanted us to swap those heads and take the Human Torches and display them with the opposite group. I don't know. Food for thought. So Fantastic Four retro figures showing up at retail, and I noticed not at one, but multiple targets that were part of my toy run. As I was noting in the beginning of the video, I'm seeing a lot of the same character. And While, again, you could say, oh, well, that's just because, Reed is the only one left after all the other figures have been purchased. Again, I know my store and I haven't seen any of the other figures. And, going back to the Rogue example, if all of these figures are left over, well, where's the rest? How it couldn't be possible they all sold out. And I was finally actually able to, I guess, get proof of this when I found a Marvel Legends case pack of the new Spider-Man No Way Home wave. And when an employee, I was on a cart going out, and I asked the employee if he could open it up for me. Isn't it awesome when you like find the case packs on a cart going out, and there's an employee who's willing to open it for you? It's like hitting a jackpot. Well, when he opened it up, it was all Spider-Man. And my first instinct was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. They're going to like ship some solids of Spider-Man just like they shipped solids of Darth Vader back in episode 3 because Spider-Man's the most popular. I wanted the Doctor Strange figure, so I was a little disappointed at the time. Well, like I said, it wasn't just Spider-Man, but now I've seen several figures from this wave as, just hanging there, clearly shipped as solid case packs, just like that Spider-Man. So why is this happening? Have you noticed this on your toy runs? I'm honestly a little baffled. It makes sense to ship a solid case pack of Spider-Man, but solid case packs of Rogue or Mr. Fantastic, that doesn't quite jive. So, but it seems like this is what they're doing universally right now, at least from what I'm seeing at retail. Curious your thoughts. Are you seeing this? Any idea why this could be happening? Why the assortments have disappeared? Let me know what you think. Share this video with others. Maybe we could solve this together by discussing it online. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll comment back. I try to do it as much as I can. I read all the comments if I don't answer all of them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.